make you better in your martial arts and your taekwondo. It's a Kman here, and today we're going to be sharing with you a little sidekick sequence that can help you in the development of your sidekick. And one of my philosophies is, if you can't do it slowly, you shouldn't do it fast. So to develop good control in your sidekicks, whether it be for sparring or patterns, I always like to work the muscles through the full range of movement by controlling the full movement. And I'll give you a whole sequence that leads up to different scenarios in sparring that will help you with that. Because if you can control your sidekick, halfway through the flight of the sidekick, if you find the target is closing up, you can always change the angle or change it into another kick. But if you don't have any control of your sidekick and you throw it out, once it's launched, it has to keep going no matter what happens to the target or your opponent, who may counter your sidekick and you can't do anything about it. So let's just start from the basics, and I'll give you a drill, and I always like to do about 20 reps on each one. So I always like to work in numbers and lines, so I'm very specific and very systemized in how I approach my training. I don't just get out there, punch a bag, kick a bag until I get bored and leave. I actually have a whole sequence of things I do to make sure that I'm disciplined enough that I'll get the outcome that I want at the end. So the first part of the sidekick is just to make sure the mechanics of the sidekick is correct. So the first drill is working with the base of the bag. Now the purpose is not to hit the bag, but just use the bag as a target. So I've got these little circles. We're going to do mid sidekick for today. So I'm going to be aiming at the bottom of the fore, which is just above my belt, which is the target area for someone my height. Depending on who I'm fighting, they might be taller or shorter. So the first thing is I get into the range of the opponent, and all I do is I just do controlled mechanical sidekick. So I just, from here, I just lift up and I go out and I extend it and I go down, making sure that I don't overturn where I give my opponent the back or I don't do it too front on. Nice and side, I like to call this the corridor or the hallway, and I make sure that my head vision is always through the hallway. So from here I can come up, kick and back. That way, at any time, if they come back after the kick, I can punch and punch. But if I overturn, then I can't punch. If I lose control, I get hit behind the head. So I always make sure my hands are always in a position that I can actually punch after the kick. So from here, I just go 20 of these to start with. Just soft hands, up, down, back. And I do 20 on each side. So obviously I do 20 on the other side, then I do 20 on the other side. 20 control. Next step is I go a little bit out of range of my target, because the target's not always going to be in range. That kick's going to be good if someone comes at you and they bridge the gap for you. So you're basically here, they charge you, and all you do is just lift and kick. So that's the application of that kick. Next one is where you have to bridge the gap. So get at a distance and don't make it too hard for yourself to start with. Over time, increase the distance. But start with an easy distance so you make sure the mechanics of the kick, sidekick, are never compromised. So from here I might get further away, so if I do a normal sidekick, I'm out of range. So here, I'm out of range. So from here, I just lift and shift and I push off the back foot. Bringing the foot up first, I don't half step, I don't step up, then kick. I lift and shift the back foot. That way my weapon is always between me and my opponent. If I half step, I'm bringing my target close to their weapon, and there's nothing in here to stop them from just coming over the top and punching them. But if I lift first, then my weapon's in between me and my opponent, so they can't get at me. Got to make sure the spear is up before you bridge the gap. Don't bridge the gap with the spear so they can stab you, and then you try to bring the spear up to stab them. Bring the spear up first, then launch the spear. And the spear being obviously your front foot, and the knife being obviously the front punch. So from here, the next drill is from here, keep in good form, and all I do is, this is all controlled. We don't do this with acceleration, it's just controlled. From here, I lift, step, and I come back to the same position. I don't go kick, then step back. It's one in, one out. One beat in, one beat out. So from here it comes up, it goes from there. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 20 of them. So now I've got control with the shifting side kick rather than the half step side kick. We want to eliminate the half step side kick. There might be some applications to it, but most of the time against an experienced fighter, they'll use your half step to hit you. So that is the shifting side kick, but it's controlled. As you can see, as I do the kick, I can keep the leg there and come back. Keep the leg there and then come back. So we've got stationary side kick, shifting side kick. Next side kick is from here, I'm shifting, but I'm shifting from a dynamic spot. So I'm just hopping up and down. I'm slightly out of range, and over time you can increase that range obviously, but to start with, little steps before you take big steps. Next one from here is I'm hopping. Now I shift again, I lift the leg, and I don't move this foot. I don't bring this foot in closer. I don't bring the feet together before I kick. I keep this foot here. The idea is that I'm not going to give them any indication that I'm actually going to do a beat before the side kick. So from here, I just lift up, keep this foot on the same spot, then I shift and kick. So from here, kick and back, hopping and back. So I'm not doing this, stepping in. I'm not doing no Bruce Lee stepping side kick or jumping side kick. It's just a lift, and kick. So from here, lift and kick. And then back to the same spot, back to the same frame, back to the same stance. That way, if they come back after the kick, I can kick again, or I can go into another attack because I've kept the distance between me and my opponent. If I recover this way, kick, then step down, step back. As I step down, they can hit me and they can attack because I can't do anything. I'm in a poor frame, my feet are close together, I'm in a good poor position to launch any attacks. But if I was to return to my attacking position, I can do anything from that position. So that's the third progress. So first one, standing side kick. Second one, controlled, shifting side kick. Third one, hopping and shift. That's bridging the gap. Last one is one of my favourites, because all the time the best way to kick someone with a side kick is when they're coming at you. That way you don't have to bridge the gap. It's easier to spear someone who's running at you rather than stab someone who's running away from you. So this one we stay in close, we're hopping, and we go from here, we hop back as if they're coming at us, and then we lift and shift. So from here, get back to the very good position for you. I'm here, I hop back, kick. Hop back, kick. Hop back. So the application of this is if they're running towards you and you're giving yourself space and then you stab them, or they do a kick. Might be an axe kick and the kick comes up and it comes down. And if you notice they have poor recovery after the kick, or they do a side kick and they fall down after the side kick. So you let the side kick come, almost let it hit you, let it miss, the side kick drops, or the axe kick drops, or pick kick, or downward kick, whatever you want to call it. It drops down in front of you, they lose control, and you just, because you've got a good frame, because you just go from here, one, all you have to do is just lift and kick. So they'll drop and you'll kick them in the ribs. And I've scored many times with this one, waiting for people to lose their balance after a kick, but because I'm always maintaining, or aim to maintain a good frame, at any time, I can just back kick. So the last drill is 20 of these. It's here, back, lift, kick. There, back, lift, kick. Hop, hop, back, kick. Hop, hop, lift. So those 4 drills covers the main areas that you'll be throwing a side kick. 1, when you're stationary and someone attacks you. 2, you're a bit out of their distance and you have to bridge the gap from a stationary spot. 3, you're active and you have to bridge the gap. And 4, they bridge the gap, you need to make space for yourself, back and kick. Now notice at this stage, everything I do is slow and controlled. Because when you've got the technique, the mechanics of the movement down pat and you control it, then it's easy to overlay it with speed. So once I've got the movement right, it's just easy for me to just speed it up. The other thing is if I've got control and I'm controlling the kick at any stage through the kick, because I've got control, I can delay it, then kick. Now I might balk the kick, up, then kick, so that they block, then overblock, then I kick them. Or at any stage, I can also change the kick to turning kick, there, lift, hook kick, because I've got control of the kick. But if I don't have control of the kick, I can't change it up mid-flight. I can't delay it mid-flight. I can't speed it up or slow it down mid-flight. So it's important that you have control. And this is really good also for your patterns. And normally what I do also at the end, I like to just finish off with the same thing, but I'm just from here, I'm just going here, I shift, turn kick, just control. Controlled turning kick. Because if I've got control of that, then I can pound someone with a side kick, and they're always expecting a side kick, and then eventually I just change it with the turning kick. Same motion, but I just change it and score with the turning kick. So there is a nice drill, 20 kicks each. So you've got 4 drills. If you add the turning kick, you've got 5 drills. So that's 5 drills, 20 kicks each side. That's a total of 200 kicks with a controlled way. And look, if you do 200 kicks today, you're going to eventually become very good at kicking. So there's one drill I do to improve my side kick, but also I find the side kick is the foundation for all the other turning kicks and hook kicks as well. So drill that, and I look forward to seeing you with a better side kick. See you in the next TKD Performance Tips.